Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and today we're going to be talking LCK. It might be a little bit shorter podcast because my friends still want to do stuff, but I will see how it goes. We'll briefly go over match history. There's only eight games, and then I guess we can talk power rankings and predictions. We went 4-4 last week. We had only 8-24 point wise. A lot of upsets last week, including an upset that I picked that did not happen whatsoever. Though Griffin did throw that second one. So let's actually just go straight into the match history for summer for week 6. Let's pull that. Oh man, it's not in an easy to find situation for some reason. It never is. Okay. Where was the first match? First match was Sandbox versus Genji. So that would be right here. Right? Yeah, right here. Which we go match history. And oh, this is also match history. This one. This was actually game number 1. Game number 1 here was Genji kind of beating up on Sandbox a little bit. Like Sandbox had an early lead. I actually have notes here. Let's see. Yep, I took notes today because I was watching some of the highlights at work, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take some notes about these games. But yeah, the first game, the early Drake and the early game, all the game control was completely in Sandbox's favor, as you can tell. They had about a 2K gold lead here throughout the whole game. It wasn't like major control, but they took 3 Cloud Drakes, which probably the worst RNG you could get if you were going to get any Drake there for Sandbox to control. However, 3 of them's not bad because you can make a lot of picks with the extra speed you have. Unfortunately, the Genji has Karma, so that kind of negates the Cloud Drakes entirely. Uh, Cuvee also had a godly 1v2 in the bot lane, like right around here, like right here and here. He just an awesome flash to save and kill Summit while no, he took Summit's GA. I don't know if he actually killed someone. He might have killed on or Dove, but he killed one of them. I know for sure, and he took the GA, and it was just such a clean outplay around there. Uh, but yeah, pretty much towards the end of the game, Sandbox heavily threw at both Elder Drakes. They got this one, but it cost them a lot. As you can tell, no, sorry, Genji took this one, and then it cost Sandbox a lot because it gave them the Elder Drake, the Baron, and multiple towers. While the second one they actually did secure, but it cost them the game. Like they were able to secure the Elder Drake, so Genji didn't get the second one, but it was at what cost of it was at the cost of their Nexus. With they give 4 kills for it, eventually a 5th kill plus an inhib tower and 2 towers and a Nexus. So both Sandbox should have won this game, but they threw both of them, and Genji is in prime gauntlet position right now. They're working really well, and it's kind of surprising. Game number 2 was no, that's the same match history, right? Yeah. That's weird. Let's see. Let's go here. Now click match history. There we go. There we go. Game number 2, Cuvee was also on the Kennen. This one was all Genji, though. This one was not really. It was pretty much a great early start from the beginning with the early first blood on for Ruler. They did give up the Ocean Drake, but then from there on out, they were getting all these kills back and forth. I mean, they really didn't have a shot from pretty much the beginning. It was a snowball from the beginning. You got your Callista fed early. You got your Kennen fed early. You got your everyone fed early on the team, and on Fleek and Sandbox are bringing the Olaf comp, and just like that's more for late game. You got the Karma or for early game, not late game, not good for late game at all. You have the Karma going 0-5 in lane, and that's early lane for Karma's way more stronger than late, and just all around mess for Sandbox. So this is a very good win for Genji, and I'm honestly super impressed. As you can tell, spoiler alert from my power rankings, I have Genji number 2. Next, we had Kingzone versus Hanwha Life. Hanwha Life actually won one of these games. Here, let me just get all these out of the way now. Might as well. And we are gold. I open up so many Chrome tabs. I use so much RAM. I'm glad I got 32 gigs. But yes, so next we had Kingzone versus Hanwha Life, and this one was pretty much this first game was actually really close. Now that I'm remembering it, that Helm Life had a very strong early game with the securing of the Ocean Drake, getting first blood, getting that Rift Herald, and getting a tower immediately after that. Unfortunately, getting that tower, they also gave up 4 kills. That was where the tide started to turn a bit, but not too much, as they were still able to secure another Drake and multiple 2 more towers, and as well as taking tower for tower there. They secured a Baron, but unfortunately they lost the Baron pretty much right away. The only person that still had it was Cuz, and outside of no, Cuz died. No, not Cuz. Sorry, Bono. Bono was the one that did. Oh, and then no, it was actually so on. I can't read apparently. Jesus. But yeah, they lost the Baron there, and then that's when they kind of lost full control of the game. From there on point on, as you could tell, Kingzone just had a much better, cleaner team fight from that point on, and just won immediately. Won one team fight 5-0. Was able to push down the team Nexus with Azir and Varus. You have and Camille. You have just so much tower damage that one team fight past 25 minutes is gonna win you the game. And that's what happened. Game number 2, weirdly enough, Kingzone was the team that was I thought was dominating early. As you can see, they did go up first blood, but immediately had Deft with a kill there. You had Cuz. Cuz was the one. He was being a monster in the jungle this game, and just like, even though he went 2-2, like his early game jungle pressure was so strong, and it was really letting Hollow Life suffer a lot. But Hollow Life prevailed with a last second throw. That, like, I don't know how Kingzone lost this game. Kingzone does not look very clean right now. They just threw it at the end there, as you can tell. As you can tell, they have the gold lead here. They're only 1.4k gold lead. The gold lead never changed under 2k for this entire game. It was a very very close game. But I just figured with the late game power of Varus and Jace Poke and Morgana, honestly, and then the engage with Varus and Gragas, Kingzone should have had this game quite easily. They did not, and that is why they lost. They threw it. Next, though, they were able to secure the series with Lava, unfortunately, having to deal with a very boring game. This game was 7-5. This game was only 27 minutes, even though it's 7-5. And this game was just literally Humble Life rolling over and letting Kingzone win. They took Mountain Drake, Rift Herald, Tower, like no resistance. Maybe a kill here, another Ocean Drake, and then Tower. Like they didn't get. They got 5 kills here. That means before the last team fight to win the whole game, Kingzone had 2 kills and they were breaking down. They broke down 3 inhibs with 2 kills. Like, what are you? Hollow Life, you gotta step up. Like that was bad. I was really disappointed with that. They kind of did the Jin Air style of just let Kingzone do whatever they want to us, and we will slowly get them eventually, right, guys? And then eventually, then you lose all 3 inhibs, and you're like, oh, maybe we need the fight now. But once you lost 3 inhibs, the game's over. The game's over. They literally had 2 kills before that, and that's not good. Not good to give up your entire base without even at least trying. Next, we had SKT versus Jin Air. Where's my stat here? Jin Air, spoiler alert for the next series, they also lost. They got close in one of those games. They also lost that one. But Jin Air is now 5-59 since I started watching LCK. Please get relegated. I'm begging you, Jin Air. Just get relegated. I do not want to see you anymore. They started out this game good, I guess, with a few. They gave up first blood right away, but they got a few kills. It was 4-1 by the 12-minute mark, but as you can tell, they were only up 900 gold, and immediately after that, they just gave up objective after objective, turned around, got some kills there, but they gave up a Baron and gave up a kill on top of it. So it was only a 2-for-1 with the Baron. SKT's going to take that trade every time. And then they got another Baron and they wiped them, and then they won the game. Weird. It's almost like every team always wins against Jin Air. Game number 2, also, Jin Air started out strong with that early first blood at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Good gank by Malrang. And then nothing happened. They got a few objectives here. They did get 3 towers before SKT took one tower before that, or it was 3-1. But then immediately, once it hit 17 minutes, Jin doesn't know what to do in a game anymore after the 15-minute mark. They start out strong and then they just roll over and die. And then that's what they did. They gave up Baron, gave up an ace. All of a sudden they're down 5k gold. They don't know what to do. They're getting outscaled by Kaisa Azir for sure. Outscales Ezreal Zoe, and then they lost the game. I don't know what more do you want from me of Jin. This team is the worst major team in the league, and one of easily there are probably multiple wildcard region teams that could take down Jin. I'm so sick of watching them. I hate it. I just hate it. It's so just there. You know what's gonna happen. You don't have to spoil it for me. You just know what's gonna happen every single time. Speaking of not knowing this was going to happen, was Afrika versus KT. KT with a perfect game. Like, what? And they all... Afrika with the perfect symmetry of all going 0-3. I don't think... There hasn't been a perfect game yet in the LCK. If you would have told me that KT was going to be the first one to pull it off and it's not against Jin, like, then that's impressive. That's very good game by KT. It was good to see them back with King actually in the top lane instead of Smeb, and they just all around everyone had a fantastic game. No one died. They rotated well. They took their towers effectively. They learned to back off. They didn't overextend. It's all very good. Game number 2. Not so much. Not bad again. They did have a 4-for-3 in the fighting for Infernal. They did lose the Infernal, however, on that. And then they actually never really got it going. They had a few more skirmishes here, but then they lost the Baron, and then they don't know how to play against the Baron really. And like, this is a very good front line of Kled and Kled, Sejuani, Nico, and Rakan has so much CC, and you have so much damage with Kled, Xayah, and Nico. On top of that, like, it was just a very disgusting team comp. You don't have much peel outside of Galio and Karma, which is a lot, but it's like you don't have a real big front line. Support Galio is gonna blow up like instantly. He's 1-8. He did blow up instantly all the time. And Silas is your next go-to tank, and he's not going to do too much for you there in that situation. Just all around, not a great team comp in general against this one. This one was able to just snowball or just roll. As you could tell, almost all the fights happened in mid and river. There was literally zero side action all game. Next was Kingzone versus Afrika, or KT versus Afrika, not Kingzone, and KT did win. They won a series, and it's the first series they've won in a long time. I think it's been like 6 or 7 series in a row that they had lost. So this one was a close game in the sense of kills, but it wasn't close in gold. This was KT going back to what they did in the first game. They didn't perfect game it this time, obviously, as they gave up 6 kills and 3 towers, 2 dragons, and a Rift Herald. But they were fairly clean again. They were learning the rotations. They were doing everything properly. They were backing off when they needed to. There wasn't many kills. Obviously, they were only taking very smart fights. And honestly, most of their kills were Score, who was their frontliner. Score and Snowflower were their frontline, who was dying. But their backline and their precious ADC and mid laner, they stayed alive this entire game, including Nico as well on top for the split push. And you just only had fights here. You had the split push, but it was clean, no deaths, obviously. And you just slowly won this game. I was very impressed with KT this week with their upset against Afrika. I did not see that coming. I thought KT was dead in the water. And the only team that looks worse than them is Halma Life and Jin. Next, we had Damwon Gaming versus Griffin. This first game was, I thought Griffin was going to have, I got so smug when Griffin, they were down a little bit of gold, like 1K or so, but they had first blood, and then they got that 4-man kill. They lost the dragon, but who cares? An Ocean Drake is not worth 4 kills, especially 2 on Aatrox. I'm like, all right, this is Griffin. This is what I predicted, that they haven't lost to Damwon Gaming since 2016. Or was it spring of 2017 or spring of 2016? It was a long time ago. It pretty much is the last time Griffin had dropped a game to Damwon Gaming. And after that, they did nothing. Like, they literally... Griffin has lost their way of effectively... Griffin has never been an overly aggressive team. They've been a lot more of just a slow, methodical, old Korean style type play. But, one, you got to do something. if you get a 5-0 lead on kills, I mean they were only up about 1 point or about 1k gold at most, so they weren't like super far ahead, but they put themselves in an advantage that if you're up 5-0, you should be at least you get 4 kills for none. You should be having the perfect rotations, being able to take at least a tower off of that, maybe two, and then they just did nothing. Like as you can see, they didn't a single, not one objective was taken this game, even though they had 8 kills and like five of them. They had 5 kills and none before the 10-minute mark, and they got 0 objectives. It's unacceptable. And Griffin is very much struggling right now. They might legitimately not make playoffs. I don't think that's as bold a statement as it would have been 2 weeks ago. Next, we have Damwon Gaming and Griffin. Griffin, again, look at this. Weird that they went back and forth, 2-1, okay. 1-1, but they did lose the Ocean Drake early. That was a big loss. They lost to Riffle, but it went 1-1 again. Okay. Then they secure the Infernal and get a triple kill for Doran, who is was that Doran's? He hasn't played much, but he's replacing Sword. But Doran had triple kill, triple on Aurelia. That was her 5th kill. So Aurelia had 5 kills by the like 13-minute mark, and they did nothing with that, as you can tell. They secured the Infernal, and then they got 1 tower. Do you notice again this gap? I'm using my hands here. I should probably use the mouse. So what we had last game was where they got 4 kills and then there's a gap. They did nothing. Here, 3 kills in Infernal, nothing for about 6 minutes. There is so much time here where Damwon is nowhere on the map. You have all 5 members. They can only bring 2 at max to go get some towers. Like, you have to snowball your lead. That's what Griffin would do. They would suffocate people like that. But they did not. They're lost as a team. They're completely lost. They've lost their way. And Damwon just took advantage of that again for the 2nd game in a row and used the Corki to their advantage of scaling and won again. Weird. It's almost like Corki outscales almost every champion in the game. And if you don't take advantage of having 5-on-2 situation, that you're going to not win a game. Very, very, very disappointed with Griffin because I was very excited in both. I think it was more me being salty because of my prediction of Griffin because of them Damwon Gaming never winning a game against them in like 4 years. But all things come to an end, I guess. CLG beat TSM, Damwon beat Griffin. It all comes to an end eventually. Echo Fox sells their team. I'm still sad about that. That was new. That was breaking news from a few hours ago. Okay, next we had Kingzone versus Gen G. This one was Kingzone. Kingzone started out really, really good. Gen G, not so much. Kingzone always had the lead. Multiple kills right away. What was that? First blood at a minute 30. Got that kill on the Skarner, immediate kill on Ezreal after that. Just kills all over the place for Kingzone. Gen G just looked not in it whatsoever. 0-5 for especially Ruler and Peanut. They just got shut down really hard early. Just nothing happened. You had Yasuo with his 4-0 power spike instead of his 0-10 or 0-10. So it just they snowballed out of control type situation. Game number 2, we had Fly played really good for Gen G with the Vygar. We're seeing a lot of Vygar come up with the Azir coming back in the meta. It's quite interesting to see. Ruler got paid attention this game. Instead of going 0-5, he went 5-0. Death went 0-2 on the Varus. I don't like this Ezreal Lux lane still. I'm going to be honest. It worked this game, but I'm just not a fan of it. I get the idea behind it, but I would much rather see Caitlyn, who is not banned at all. I think Caitlyn's just so much stronger than Ezreal in that situation, poke-wise and just like scaling-wise and CC and just, I don't know. That's just personal preference, I guess. Gen G was also able to win game number 3, and this one was off the back of Ruler, and Gen G comes out of the week of a week against Kingzone and Sandbox. Gen G comes out 2-0, which is insane. I would have never believed this team was. I know it's summer Gen G, but it's not gauntlet time yet. But they're definitely trying to force it. So, well, to be fair, they need to make playoffs to even make gauntlet, I believe. So, unless it's different in LCK than it is in NA. But yeah, this is brutal for the rest of the league. If Gen G is going to play this well, personally, I don't know. I think that means Korea is pretty weak outside of Damwon Gaming. I would only have Damwon Gaming as the only top 10 team in the world in LCK, which is so weird to say. So weird. Application error, cool. That was first game against Jin Air. That game wasn't as important as oh no, was that the one? Was it game 1 or game 2? I'm thinking it was game 1 with shoot, let's pull this up. Please give me it. There we go. No, this one wasn't it. This was the one that Afrika dominated Jin Air quite easily. Weird. I know. Enough said. Game number 2 was where Afrika should have lost. Jin Air, they don't have it here for some reason. I guess no? Was it here? Oh, it was here. Okay. I was gonna say, this is where Jin Air should have won the game. They 4 killed Afrika. Or not Kuve, Keen teleported back against in a 3v1 situation. Chengo tries and ults with the Azir and he misses it and he just barely misses it to stop the teleport by Keen, and Keen gets his teleport, comes right here, ults in and kills Morgana, or Kellen, Root, and Linderong. Malrong eventually kills him, but I was like, Jin Air, no. Like, they were so close. This is the one game that Jin Air has been legitimately close in. I mean, granted, they were down 3K gold, and they never really had the lead in this game. But, like, that team fight was so good by them originally. To have a literal 4 for none. And then they give up 3 kills on their in a 3v1. They give up 3 kills in before the 3v1. Azir misses or shoots his ult, but it's like 0.1 second too late as Keen teleports out just in time to get back to the base and save it. It's quite unfortunate for Jin Air. I felt so bad watching that. Like, even though I hate Jin Air in a sense that they provide low quality entertainment, that was an entertaining game, so I appreciated that. That's all I want. That's all I want is entertaining games, and that's why I don't like Jin Air, because 99% of their games are not entertaining. They're just roll over and dies. Finally, we had Hanwha Life versus Sandbox. Hanwha Life actually, quite surprisingly, took game 1. I think this was mostly just Renekton and Lucian mid. Lucian mid is a really big counter, too quirky. It just never got going. The nice camps by Bono really helped a lot with shutting Lucian down early and just not being able to affect Corky's scaling situation. Also, Ghost and Joker just got kind of beat bad by Sangyun and King and Key. And just so on also beat Summit. Like, everyone did really well towards the end. Like, they all stabilized their lanes. Renekton couldn't get anything early. Lucian couldn't get anything early. And then just like the scaling of Cork, the poke of Ezreal and Jace was just too much. Too much. However, Sandbox did come back and win the next game. Close. They should have lost this one as well, honestly. Hanwha Life should have came away with a win. But unfortunately, their Elder Drake, even though they had the Elder Drake and they had 4K gold lead, they lost that team fight there. They gave up 2 kills. Gave up 2 kills and inhibit a Nexus, and then they just lost Infernal, Baron, or Elder, Baron, and then just lost everything. I didn't like seeing this, by the way. I do not like seeing no one die when you're losing everything. That means you're just kind of letting them kill your stuff, and you didn't do anything to stop it. I never like seeing that. That's why I like LPL so much, is they will fight for everything. And game 3 was nearly a perfect game by Sandbox. That I think game 2 kind of broke Hanwha. Like, they really felt like they should have won that series in 2 games, and then unfortunately they just had no hope in game 3. Kind of similar to their King Zone. So they also had to face King Zone in Sandbox this week, and they actually came away with 2 wins, like not series wins. So they were in the very similar situations to Gen G, and that's gonna be why in my power rankings as I go to them now, I actually moved Gen G up so much, is that Kingzone and Sandbox not only lost to Gen G, they both lost a game to Hanwha Life, and Hanwha Life played very, very well in both series, which should not happen for Kingzone and Sandbox. So it was a mixture of that, plus Gen G just coming away with 2 wins was just like, oh, I'm actually gonna put them at number 2. But yeah, Damwon moves up number 1, win against Griffin. Sorry, Kingzone and Sandbox losing. Obviously, Damwon definitely looks like the best team in Korea at the moment. Gen G at the moment looks like the second best team in Korea to me. Let's see. Let's do a quick overview here. But they are actually like on a 6 game winning streak, 4 game winning streak right now. But their 4 wins are against Griffin, Kingzone, Gen G, and Hanwha. So like their 3 of their 4 wins are against. It's not their wins against. It's against Sandbox, Kingzone, and Griffin. So are against the 1, 3, and 5 teams. So 3 of their 4 wins are against 4 of the other playoff teams, not including themselves. So that's what makes it so impressive, and it moves them all the way up to 8-4. They're currently only a half game behind Damwon Gaming, and only 1 game out of first place, which is insanity considering this team was 4-4 and looking very mediocre yet again. Just right before Rift Rivals. Kingzone we said drop, Sandbox we said drop. SKT did win their game against Jin Air. They're just dropping because I moved Gen G up. Gen G was originally 5th on my power rankings. No, actually Gen G was 6th on my power rankings, and they've moved all the way up to 2nd. That was a big jump. It's one of the biggest jumps I've ever done, but I felt like it was deserved. And same with Afrika as well. They fell to number 6 because of that, but they did lose to KT, so they deserved that. Griffin went 0-2 against Damwon and threw him. I don't want to put him below KT yet because I don't think they're at that level. KT 3-8, Griffin 7-4. There's no way you can convince me that KT is at the position Griffin is, but Griffin now on a 3 series losing streak is very bad, and they are just barely by half game clinching onto the final playoff spot at the moment. They went from first or tied for first all the way to at 7-1, all the way to 5th with only a half game away from being eliminated from the playoffs or being out of the playoffs. So I still have them in 7th in the power rankings, but KT is creeping up on them, but I wouldn't say too much yet. Hanwha Life with six series losses. They stay at number 9, even though they did look good. KT did actually get a win against Afrika, so you're not gonna move up with 2 straight losses. And Jin Air sucks at everything. 2-24, 3-35 last split, 2-24 this split on pace for how many games? So that would be 2 divided by 26 is 0.07. 3 divided by 38 is 0.78. So they are basically on pace for 3 wins again. They're on pace for another 3-35. However, this 3-35 would actually equal out to a 0-18 instead of a 1-17 of last play, but they did beat Afrika in 1 series. Anyway, let's move on to predictions. I know this is a quick one, it's only about a 30-minute podcast. But predictions for game number 1. Let's move this here, here, and here. Okay. Game number 1, I have KT versus Griffin, and like I said, I believe Griffin will finally be able to catch up. They have had some tough matches against Damwon, and then they had their loss against Gen G, who's really hot right now, and Afrika, who, outside of a terrible showing against KT, they've been pretty good lately as well. But now I'm looking, Afrika hasn't really played many good teams. They've played Jin Air, and Griffin. Like Griffin's their only good win in the last since week 3, so maybe not. Maybe they've struggled quite a bit. Yeah, that's literally since week 2. Has Afrika beaten it? Afrika beat Kingzone in week 2. That was their only good win on the entire year. And SKT in week 1, but SKT looked really bad in week 1. So those are the only 2 positive wins. And SKT technically not a positive win, as SKT is still under 500. So Afrika's they're 6th place. Maybe you have to put Griffin above them, honestly. But Griffin, I think, should be able to handle KT. I think KT sneaks 1 away just because of how dysfunctional Griffin is at the moment. But I think Griffin takes it 2-1. Gen G against SKT, both 2 hottest teams in the league at 5 wins and 4 wins. A 5-match win streak for SKT. Previously were 1-5. Now they're 6-5. Gen G was 4-4. Now they're 8-4. I think Gen G wins this one though. They look more dominant in recent weeks than SKT has in their games, and SKT's wins aren't necessarily always against the best teams like Jin Air. Their last wins are against Jin Air, KT, and Hanwha Life. That's 3 of their 5 wins, and then KT again, and then they did beat Gen G last time 2-0, and that was the last time Gen G has lost a game. So they do have their number as of last time. But outside of that Gen G win, the 4 other wins on this win streak are against the 3 teams below them. So SKT now they look good, but that kind of worries me in the sense that they haven't played any of the big teams in a while. So this will be their first real test, and I think they fail. I really do, and I'm still not convinced SKT makes playoffs this year. Especially with Gen G doing so well. Like, Gen G wasn't supposed to be doing well. This was supposed to be a four-man race with Griffin, Kingzone, Damwon, and Sandbox. And that fifth spot was supposed to be SKT's for the taking between Griffin and between Afrika and Gen G floundering. But not so much. Damwon Gaming should 2-0 Sandbox, I think. Damwon Gaming is on fire right now. Sandbox also is a little shaky. It's being a little covered up by Kingzone and Griffin also being shaky right now. But Sandbox themselves haven't looked very clean either. Hanwha Life will 2-0 Jin. Hanwha Life dominates teams that are below them. Unfortunately for Hanwha Life this year, it's only Jin below them, but they should be able to take care of that pretty easily. Kingzone as well, I think, is going to 2-0. Oh, I have them 2-1ing Afrika. They did lose to Afrika before. I'm going to switch that to a 2-0 actually right now. I just, after looking at who Afrika has actually beaten in their last 3 games, Afrika really hasn't beaten anyone special in a long time themselves. So I actually think Kingzone, even though they're looking shaky themselves, they should be able to 2-0 Afrika, hopefully, and get back on track. Gen G should take down KT, no problem. If they're able to take down SKT, they're more than capable to take down KT. KT got that sneaky win against Afrika, but outside of that, they have looked pretty bad all year. And unfortunately for the people that predicted them, I predicted them to make playoffs. Some people predicted them to make finals. That's not going to happen this year, either of those situations. I think KT are already kind of close to getting mathematically eliminated. Only they're 4 games out with 18. 4 games out with 7 games left. That's a really hard climb to make, especially if you lose again. Griffin versus SKT. I think SKT takes on Griffin. Griffin looks like a mess. SKT, however, they have only beaten the bad teams. This is test number 2. If they fail and lose to Gen G and Griffin, they will, in my mind, officially be kicked out of the playoffs because I'd put the playoff boundary up to 9 wins, in my opinion. I think 9 wins would be there, and SKT would be sitting at 6-7, so they would only have 5 games left, and they'd be 2 or 3 games out with 5 games left. I think SKT would miss playoffs, and unfortunately with that, they would miss Worlds. Unless they can run the gauntlet. I don't know if they would be in the gauntlet yet, depending on the points, I'm assuming. If it is the same as NA. Damwon Gaming versus Jin Air, don't even bother with that. That's Damwon Gaming all the way. that game, if that happens, that would be the upset of upsets. That would be almost as big as upset as Team Liquid beating IG, pretty much, maybe even bigger. But yeah, that is going to be the podcast today. I know it was a little bit of a quick one. It was 35 or 32 minutes or so. But thank you guys for coming to watch, and we will see you tomorrow for the LMS podcast, which unfortunately the LMS changed to like a Friday situation. So like, and LCK at the moment is changed to a Thursday situation. So really, I could move the LEC all the way up to Tuesday, but that might confuse Brian and Brock enough that they won't be able to do that. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to watch. We'll do LMS tomorrow, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.